Hey Priyanka, thank you very much for the introduction, and very good morning to all the participants who have taken time to join this session. So without further delay, I will I'm going to start the session. I'll just give you a brief background what I'm going to speak today on intelligent motor control solutions. So primarily I'm going to discuss what exactly the intelligent motor control concept is, how it is different from the conventional intelligent motor control system versus the intelligent motor control solutions. What are the key benefits which you will be getting versus conventional versus intelligent motor control solutions. And then I will be talking about some key areas, how it is going to help you in overall building up the smart manufacturing, getting the real-time information. You save the energy across the plants and giving a real-time information of the plant so that you can take an informed decisions. And then how the whole intelligent motor control, our solutions are enabling the connected enterprise and in smart manufacturing for your plant. So starting with, of course, improving energy efficiency, the only way intelligent motor control lowers your total cost of ownership. Intelligent motor control impacts cost throughout the life cycle of your investment. So which includes helping you in the energy efficiency, reducing your total installation cost, helping you reducing your downtime and maintenance, and protecting your overall assets in the plant. Starting with what exactly the intelligent motor control is, right? We talked about conventional one, the way it has been used in past, and there is a significant change in the technology which we are using and the equipment which is coming into the market, and this is how there is a difference between conventional one and the intelligent motor control. So in the a Rockwell Automation intelligent motor control solution provides the highest level of motor control capabilities, which is regardless of the application requirements. It provides a highest level as a standard, which provides you advanced diagnostic, providing real-time information available to the right and simplified design as a part of the overall control architecture. So these are some of the key benefits using IMC. So it's a complete, Ethernet enabled architecture in the overall plant. So you have the complete field levels in your plant. Down the line at field level, some certain motors, field devices, and on the top you have a control layer, and on the top you have enterprise level. So down the line at the motor level, at the field level, and the devices, and I'm talking about the motors, the starters, those are Ethernet enabled, which is happening in the motor, what is happening in the plant, so that you can take some proactive actions to avoid unnecessary maintenance downtime. So this picture, actually you can see a graphical representation of offering in which will motor control devices that the ability to communicate over Ethernet IP and work as an integral part of the control system. So now a motor control device can do much more. Respond to the interlocking commands. They provide extremely valuable diagnostic information and can be configured as a natural extension of the system. So these technology enhancement brought by intelligent motor control often translates into a number. So first, there's a very significant reduction in the cost, which is associated with your documentation, I/O modules, installation, and commissioning. And we are going to discuss much more in detail in my coming slides how it is going to, save on all these aspects. Second, the Ethernet IP protocol enables full access to any device from any location with concurrent support for real-time control and acquisition of diagnostic information. We have been hearing on in the latest trends which is coming up in industry. Industry is talking about industry, big data, analyticals, and smart manufacturing. So how all these things going to happen at the field level? If any device, let's for an example, motor, if motor can tell us that I'm going to fail in next 2 hours or next 1 day, next 2 days. So it will help us to take some proactive actions and take some proactive measures to avoid that failure, right? So we are talking about having the intelligence built in into the motor control devices, be it the fixed motor speed, be it the variable speed drives, be it the motor control centers. So every device which is there in the plant at the field, each device has its own intelligence built in into it with Ethernet, and that intelligence is given to the controller, and from the controller it goes directly to the enterprise level or to the virtual devices like iPads or mobiles. So anywhere across the if you are not there in the plant sitting in the control station, if you have that information live feeding and that what is happening with my motor, whether it is under load, overload, so you can take some proactive actions to avoid that downtime. So single network from across from field level to the enterprise level, all devices are on Ethernet, and this is Ethernet future for our industry, which is helping you reduce the cost. It is helping you to faster installation and giving you real-time information so that you can take proactive actions. What value which is delivered to you at high level, it is helping you faster time to market. So which is basically if you are reducing the downtime, it will help you to respond to the market faster. It is helping you, have the line running at 24, having a production loss. Lower total cost of ownership. So whatever the assets you have in the plants, which is the ownership of the plant. So it is helping you the lower total cost by having a predictive maintenance. Asset utilization improvement. So whatever assets we are talking about, it will help you to improve the utilization of those assets, ensuring that that particular asset is giving the optimal efficiency. And at the last, enterprise risk management. So Ethernet being secure network at the top level, you can ensure that whatever information is flowing in on the protocol, it is secure and safe. So coming to the technologies, like past we have seen that it has been used most of the time at the fixed level. We have been using across the line starters, which is your DLS starters. Right, and it was mostly electromechanical devices, and all the devices were hardwired. So there was no real-time information or no intelligence built into it. So if any fault occurred, the accident or any fault occurs at the time. Prior to fault occurrence, we are not having any information. Right, so this is not giving a predictive, information so that we can take a corrective actions. And when the technology moves, then we moved into the solid state stage. Then we have which is helping us to reduce voltage on the starter talk, and all these soft starter also have Ethernet IP built into it so that these can communicate directly to the controller. Then we have variable frequency drives. This is all at variable speeds. All the devices are also Ethernet IP enabled. So all these, then in last we have motor control centers. So all these are at the motor level, at the field level. Variable, de-efficiency and fixed speed starters have been very basic solution and thermal or magnetic overload protection. But in thermal and overload devices are simple and initially are a lower cost solution. They provide only no diagnostic information at all, and this just when an overload condition occurs, which can lead to an extensive downtime and maintenance, establish the cause of a problem. So first of all, in these, which is conventional one, it was very hard to find out where exactly the problem and the issue is. Once you find out the issue, then it becomes difficult to resolve that issue. Until the time your production and your motor is stopped and you are not able to, start the production. So there is a significant loss on the time, on the production loss, and the repair of that motor also, right? So this is what I was talking about, connected enterprise, or be it smart manufacturing. So connected enterprise, we are talking about a seamless integration of your field devices to the enterprise level, which is whatever the devices you have at the field level, at the enterprise level who is sitting, it can give you real-time information of all the plants, what is happening, how much energy consumption is, which motor fails, real-time information, and then you can take corrective actions to avoid that. So we are delivering on the connected enterprise vision with our customers every day, and we do this through our 3 core. One is integrated architecture, which is the complete architecture on our integrated platforms. Then integrated motor controls and our solutions and services. So we have been making a significant investment to evolve these offerings to help you maintain your competitive edge, so that our solutions will become more smarter, more productive. So down the line, if you see at the field level, we have devices here. At the fixed speed, we have some soft starters. Then we have electronic overload relays, R1 starter. Then we have variable speed, where you have low voltage and medium voltage drive and IMCs. Then we have a motion control, so servo motors and all that stuff. And then condition monitoring, which is integrated condition monitoring solutions. All these are have a motor into it. And then on the top certainly you have some controllers at different plant locations. And on the top, from that controller, it is going to the enterprise level information, and then it goes to the information level, right? So these all are the three levels which we are talking about, and we are talking about how we can get the real-time information from the field level to the enterprise level. So this is going to be one significant benefit for using intelligent motor control, that it is giving you real-time information and you can take corrective actions. Now this slide talking about how intelligent motor control is different from conventional one. So if you see on the left hand side, it is showcasing the conventional approach, the way it has been done in a traditional way. And today how the intelligent approach is, and how intelligent motor control is helping to overcoming the challenges which plants and manufacturing have been facing since long. So in the conventional approach, as I said, that most of the time we have been using the simple starters, and these are still hardware and unable to communicate with the higher level of the control systems. And that is why they are not able to provide any real-time data or information. They just provide the status of whether it is on, off, or whether it is tripped. And finding a fault is also becomes very difficult. Diagnostic data available. If any fault occurs and any motor trips, if you wanted to check what was the reason, what was the cause of this motor tripping, when it tripped, and how much production loss it has been done, so there is no information available. And it is resulting into the unnecessary downtime periods. Finding a fault becomes very difficult because there are multiple motors, and it creates a higher maintenance cost. Changing the parameters also requires a special engineer. So some of the time, if shift engineer is there in the plant, and he probably will not be able to do that. So hard to track, and you will not be able to track how much energy has been consumed, how much loss you have done in the production. So this is a conventional approach. Now today, if we see at the intelligent approach and how intelligent motor control is helping us to overcome all these challenges, first of all, it is having a seamless communication throughout the enterprise level, throughout the control system level. So whatever motor control systems you are using, and it has Ethernet built into it. Ethernet means intelligence built into it. So it directly communicates to your control systems, and then in turn control systems communicate to your enterprise level. So it is giving you a significant visibility across the plant of what is happening, and improving the performance and the flexibility in the system. Operate and maintain motor performance through intelligent equipments and networks. So it is helping the operator who is there on the plant. It is very easy to operate, to identify the fault. It will help you to reduce unplanned downtime. It will help you to have a monitor energy consumptions at individual level, at the motor level, and you can have predictive maintenance of the motor, of the bearings, of the thermal utilization, thermal capacity of the motor. It can help you have the remote monitoring feature as Ethernet built into it. So you can have the remote monitoring also possible. So if you are not there in the plant, but if you wanted to know what exactly is happening in real-time basis in my plant, so it can give you that real-time information on remote monitoring level. And the troubleshooting is quite easy. So because it locks the fault, every time it has its own memory. So you can, anytime 1 month back or 1 week back, you want to check what was the reason of the failure. So it can help you that. So What all parameters it will give you of the motor. If you talk about it, gives you the current, it gives you the what is the thermal capacity utilization of the motor. It will give you the trip and warning histories, how many trips has happened in this particular motor, how many warnings he has given, what is the time to trip, what was the time to reset, what was the cause of trip, how many times this, how much time the motor has run, number of starts, voltage, how much energy he has consumed. So overall, it gives you a very significant information, each and everything about the motor which is running inside, right? So intelligent motor control provides you the diagnostic information that enables you to optimize performance with real-time access. So this is about the difference between conventional approach and the intelligent approach which we have today. Now motors are going to be a significant portion of any plant, right? So, and this is motors are going to be a significant energy consumption device also. So in any plant, approximately 60 to 65% energy is being consumed by the motors, right? So, and why motors fail? It is primarily based on typical failures. Modes of the motors includes your thermal overloads, single phasing, it could be a bearing failure, it could be a rotor failure or rotor locking, stator failure, and contaminants. So these are the prime reasons of failure of the motor, and all these issues can be catered by intelligent motor control. So prior to the failure, it can give you the information so that you can take some proactive measures to avoid that. Cost of downtime. So certainly if you are not having that information, it will significantly increase your downtime and reduce your time to market. So it will take time to repair the motor, and then there are certain safety issues also which is associated with the motor, and it may impact the other equipments as well. Increase productivity. So reducing your unplanned downtime improves your productivity. So if you know that my motor is going to fail in next 2 days, and if you take some proactive actions to avoid that, so it is going to help you to improve the productivity. It is helping you to reduce the energy costs. All right, if you know that a typical motor consumes X energy and it is consuming X plus Y, so immediately it will give you an indication that this particular equipment is consuming more energy. So you can take some proactive actions that why it is taking more energy, and if there is a replacement required, or so it will help you to overall energy optimization also. Maintenance option, it will help you all advanced diagnostic information, preventive report it will give you rather than reactive. So this is one of the unique feature of intelligent motor controls. So planned downtime is possible. So if you are aware that in my plant the motors are going to be fail, so you can take some planned downtime actions which is not going to impact that much as compared to unplanned downtime. So which motor is the most critical? Most of the time we think that the motor which has the biggest capacity or the biggest motor is critical, but it totally depends on the application. It totally depends on the process in which motor is into. The process and the application is critical or not. So there on the right side you can see there are various applications defined here. For on which motor is fitted. So we have a turbine, we have high speed, we have pressure, we have gas turbine, fans, and conventional motor control solutions may not offer the control and protection options you require. So the conventional one, it will just use to start and stop, and it will just give you some indications on whether it is a on condition or off condition, whether it is stripped or not, but it is not going to provide the right information about the motor. So coming back to we have been talking about energy, right? And that IMC is going to saving your energy in a significant way. So if we talk about the industrial sector and the manufacturing, it consumes the significant portion of energy across all other segments. So 32% is being consumed by industry, and out of that 32, motor consumes about 65% of the industrial electricity. So motors are going to be very heavy energy consumers. And if we are going to act on that, on this part, it is going to help us significantly in saving the energy. And it becomes the most difficult also to manage the energy. And today, if we see, this is one of the report which I'm showing you, which is from LNS Research, Industry Management. What exactly customers or manufacturers care about? So if we see the top financial objectives, which is there on the left-hand side of the graph, so 56% is to grow revenue. So they wanted to grow revenue, and how they are going to grow revenue if they reduce on their operational cost. So energy is going to help them to reduce their energy cost and operational cost, and that is the prime objective. What are the top objectives for the energy management for customers today? They wanted to reduce the total cost of operations. So both things are interlinked. If you say on the left hand side that if I am going to save on my total cost of operations, right, so automatically it will help me to grow the revenue. And then there are further subgraphs, and I align energy and operations with corporate sustainability objectives, meet customer demands for sustainable products. But 48% is a significant percentage, which talks about that they wanted to reduce the total cost of operations, which is coming in, and hence they wanted to focus on the energy solutions and energy savings. So I think it starts with a plan, right? Any action which we wanted to implement in the plant, it starts with the plan. So hey, Priyanka, can you hear me now? It looks like there is some issue in the in my voice.
Hear you properly now. There was some issue earlier, but now it's all audible.
Okay, thank you. So starting with an assessment. First of all, we have to assess that what is my total energy consumption in the plant, and then we are going to monitor, right? That what is the total energy consumption is being monitored in the plant. And then we are going to analyze that based on your target that the energy consumption should be this much. Then you are going to analyze the energy consumption which is happening today, and then you are going to act on that. So then you are going to control the energy consumption, and by this you are going to optimize the energy savings, right? So this is a 5-step process, right? In each process we can help you. So starting with the consumption, what is my consumption of the plant today? The second stage is analyze the data, and the third stage is control, right? So these are the essentially 3 categories of the energy consumption, and in each stage we have the complete solution available which can help you to monitor your plant assessment, help you to analyze the data, and help you to controlling in the last stage. So this slide shows a typical energy management of conventional versus IMC solution. So if you see, this is a conventional solution. So you can see, one power monitor is there on the feeder and there is some indications on it. So what it provides, it only provides the total power consumption information. So it is not going to provide you the power consumption happening at the individual equipment level, right? So, and then information is only available locally and not remotely. So if you have to see how much consumption is happening, you have to feeder, see the power monitor and see how much power consumption is happening, because it is not connected on Ethernet, so it is not giving you real-time information. It will not give you any historical trend information. So If you wanted to see how much energy being consumed, how many fault occurs, what was the trip history, at what stops and what time. So it is not going to give you any history of the past information. And the event snapshot information is also not available, which is essentially we are talking about the fault and triggers. So this is a typical convention solution. And now here it is talking about intelligent motor control, what are the benefits is going to be. So on the left hand side, you see there's a power monitor which is attached to a door, and on the right hand side there is an intelligent motor control. So on the left hand side power monitors, it is only giving you information of one particular individual motor, and to get that information you have to go to the panel and see how much energy is being consumed. It is not going to give you a remote information as well, right? Vis-a-vis, if you see the intelligent motor control, it is going to give you the energy consumption for each and every individual motor. You don't have to go to the physically, you don't have to go to the panel and see the power monitor at how much energy is being consumed. It can directly available on your iPad or your iPhone or your phone, which is connected to the internet, and it will give you accurate historical data: how many faults occur, how many times motor trips, and what the fault logs, and been consumed, how much downtime. So it will give you all the information so that you can take optimized energy management. It will help you to reduce the energy cost also. You can configure the emails or SMS functionality also in case of any expected consumption increase. So you set a target that if any this value increases from that particular target value, it automatically sends you an email or SMS that it exceeds the benchmark, and then you can take corrective measures to avoid that. So this is typically an architecture which we are showing on Ethernet IP. So down the line, if you see, there are various motor control devices which is there. So we have Ethernet relays, soft shutters, variable speed drives, motor control centers, and all are connected on Ethernet IP network. And then these devices becomes intelligent device and giving that real-time information to the controller. And then on the top, it is going to the information layer or enterprise level, right? So network connectivity is one, which is have network native Ethernet IP, which reduces your hardware engineering cost, and direct integration to the Logix platform. There are profile plates available, and there are add-on profiles which directly imports, and you can configure the devices on a single software. Automatic device configuration, which significantly help you to reduce time to repair. So if any fault occurs in the device, right, you don't have to reconfigure the device. You just from the network out and just place the new device and it automatically configure. It is significantly helping you to re-engineering the device. So this is basically a E300 electronic overload relay, and versus if I compare it with the normal thermals and magnetic overload relay, first of all it gives you the accurate information because electronic coils are being used. It is not based on the thermal or temperature sensing of the motor, right? So it will give you accurate information and accurate time it will trip. It is an intelligent. It has Ethernet port, dual port built into it. It is scalable in nature, so you can expand if you have certain requirements of IOs. It is modular, so we will get into further slides on it. So from 0.5 to 200 amperes, there are various mounting styles available. So you have a current and voltage measurement. You have PTC and ground fault protections. You have certain inputs and outputs embedded into the relay itself. In addition to that, if you want to have more IOs, the expansion IOs are also available, so you can add on. It directly is in Logix architecture on Ethernet. Dual port Ethernet IP is built in into the relay itself, so it can help you to devise the device level ring topology, right? So helping you a single, you can devise any star, ring, or DLR, and it has an embedded web server which will give you a real-time information across all the locations. So as you see that on the left-hand side, this is the E300 relay, which is a combination of a sensing module, a base relay, and a control communication module. So on the top, it is a communication module which has dual Ethernet IP ports. It will give you the current information. It will give you how many number of starts. It will give you thermal capacity utilization. It will automatically profile the thermal capacity utilization of the motor, how much time the motor is running. It will give you voltage and energy, time to trip and warning histories. So this is a modular design which I was talking about. So on the right hand side, if you see down the line, there is a sensing module, right, which sense the motor current, and on the top of it, it is a control module, which has a basic base module which has integrated inputs and outputs, and on the top of it is a communication module which has some diagnostic information and dual port Ethernet communication capabilities, right? The current sensing module comes under various range. So if you want to have a current sensing only, it is available in current. If you want to have a ground fault and current, then there is a separate sensing module. If you want to have voltage, current, ground fault and power, then there is a separate. So there is a modularity and scalability depending on the need. We have various modules available, 120 volt AC, 240 volt AC and 24 volt DC. So depending on the choice, you can go for it, but most of the time as MCC, we have 240 volt AC running. So, and you have to put a separate power supply to give 24 volt DC. So most of the time we choose 240 volt AC. On the current transformer, wide current range 10 raised to 1. Expansion IOs we have in digital and analog IOs. And then there is a operator interface also, which we have a diagnostic station and an operating station, which you can see on the screen. So diagnostic station is helping you to diagnose and configure. It has some LED into it, then some navigation keys and the motor control parameters. So in case of any failures with the communication with the controller, remotely you can, locally you can configure it. Locally you can configure the E300 with this diagnostic station and can configure the parameters. So this is basically showing you what all motor diagnostics available. Right, so this is a web server which is running on the, so you just need to put the IP address and you can configure the parameters, the voltage, current, energy. It will help you to have the trip and warning histories, motor winding temperature, trip snapshot, time to trip, time to reset, operational hours, number of starts. So constantly all the parameters you can get it on the web. So the add-on profile, the AOP profile for Studio 5000, which is a single software for the controllers also and for the relays also. So this is a single software. You don't need a separate software for it. You can directly configure. You can import the profile of E300 into the controller itself, and you can do the programming. Add-on instructions are also available. Dual port Ethernet IP port is available. Auto device configuration, which I already talked about, helping you to reduce the maintenance time. So just take out the faulty module and insert the new module. It will automatically configure with the server. Embedded web server technology, which is helping you to have a remote access of the module inside what is happening with a simple IP address. Supports SMTP messaging, which is basically a messaging or an email triggering automatically if any parameters goes beyond the benchmark level. So this is basically showing a conventional solution. So here this is basically a conveyor which is running, and in the conventional solution the overload trips, there is an overload condition in the conveyor, and overload trips without any warning, right? It just tripped, and when maintenance guy came to see why exactly it is tripped, there is no information, where the location of the motor or what is the cause of the trip unknown, and the loss of production and potential scrappage cost. So if conveyor stops, there is a scrappage of this bottles and there is a production loss also. There is a impact on the motor efficiency also, on motor life over the time of period. overload, what happens, it takes over the time of period, and it doesn't happen in whatever till the time the overload condition or underload condition is, it is going to impact on the motor, and over the time of period the insulation of the motor and winding of the motor is going to reduce. Then you have to restart the motor, which will cause additional damage. So productivity is going to impact very badly in this type of solutions. In intelligent motor control, how it is going to help you, that if any overload condition happened, it immediately gives you an alarm, right? Because it is connected on Ethernet, and at enterprise level, if you are sitting in a control, if you want to configure in your mobile, in your iPad, right? So all these parameters can be configured. So in case of an overload occurs, it will immediately give you a physical indication by tower lights, and then it will give you an indication by message or by an email that there is overload condition in this conveyor line, right? So it will give you an early warning provided from diagnostic information, and then you are aware that which motor is causing this and which conveyor line is causing this, and then you can take some preventive maintenance solutions. And you don't have to restart the complete motor, which will help you to reducing the motor cost. The troubleshooting is very simplified because you are aware where exactly the fault is occurring, and if there is any failure of the relay, you can just directly replace it. So these are some benefits, and it directly, in case of thermal overload relay, it will just indicate right on or off, or it is trip. In case of electronic overload relay, it is going to profile the thermal capacity utilization of the motor built in when it reaches to the overload condition, and next time when it is going to happen, it is going to pre-alarm you that the motor overload condition, so to take some proactive actions. So premier integration, this I talked about how to configure the relays. So we have a Studio 5000 which configures all motor control devices, right? So it's a single software, you can configure it, and this is how it looks like on Logix Designer. So it's a one-time configuration for controller and devices. You don't need a different software to configure different motor control devices. The commissioning is simplified for the engineers. So intelligent motor control now gives you significant improvements because all your devices are connected on Ethernet IP. You have a single software, which is a Studio 5000, configurable for your controllers and all your motor control device. So it is going to have an Ethernet IP enabled. So more solution. These are some of the customers where we have supplied the intelligent motor control solutions. So if we talk about the commercial benefits the intelligent is going to give, so then we have a conventional solution and then we have an intelligent solution. So conventional solutions just assume that there is a fault occur in the conveyor line. So locating the fault, removing it, replacing it, configuring the new drive or a relay is going to be taken a high time. So time taken approximately 1.2 hours. This is a production cost. This is taken for control commissioning engineer required. Total lost revenue is this much. When it comes to intelligent solution, the location of the fault, replacement and configuration is quite easy because it is all connected on Ethernet. So you are aware where exactly the fault occur. If there is any replacement required, you can immediately replace it. There is no reconfiguration required of the device because of ADR functionality, and it is just done in 15 minutes. This aim and the shift electrician can do it, and the total lost revenue is you can see it is just significantly reduced, approximately 1/3%, 25% of what you are doing in conventional solutions. So these are some of the commercial benefits which going to give you on intelligent motor control. So the initial investment probably is going to hover, but as I said in starting, that the intelligent motor controls impacts cost throughout the life cycle of your investment. So you have to see the investment which you are making throughout the life cycle of your plan. Some of the benefits of intelligent motor control, which I already discussed in my previous slides, but this is a kind of a summary. So for enterprise customers, manufacturers, it is giving you the real-time diagnostic information. It is helping to minimize the downtime, or we can say less maintenance time. It's the same. System recovery. So whenever any fault occurs, it will help you. The troubleshooting is fast. Even network is breakdown. So if in any case, assume that there is a controller in which relay is communicating and the network is down. So at local level, you can control it. So it is not going to impact the performance and working of the relays in case of network breakdown. Easy to prepare the maintenance schedule because you have a pre-information and diagnostic information available well in advance. So you can define the planned downtime, you can define the maintenance schedule of for panel builders. It is helping them to the installation cost. It is helping the of the panels because it is they don't going to have a multiple devices. It is going to help them in reducing the wiring significantly. The building time of the panels is going to significantly reduce. For system integrators and OEMs, it is going to help them system design cost reduction over 20%, and the testing and commissioning cost over 50%. The overall documentation cost also reduced to 50%. So these are certain figures which is given. So in summary, first of all, you have to understand your energy consumption, and Rockwell Automation can help to provide the right information. We have the solution at the each stage of measurement of the energy, then analyzation and the control. At the each stage, we can provide the complete solution. Integration of MCC through intelligent device is the only solution if you want to save the energy, and if you want to have improvement in your real-time information and reduction in the revenue. Ethernet IP communication, as I said, it's a key network, and it's the heart of the intelligent MCC, which is helping you to enabling the smart manufacturing or connected enterprise, as it gives you real-time information the way you want, and it has an easy interface directly with the motor control devices to the enterprise level. EDR functioning is helping you to in the commissioning, installation, and maintenance. It becomes very easy with that. Intelligent predictive diagnostic to reduce serious fault happen. So if you have something available well in advance that this fault is going to occur or motor is going to be not in healthy situation, you can take some proactive measures to avoid that. Device logic function, that is basically, as I mentioned, that in case of networking breakdown, you can directly control through the component level and the operator station, and a device logic functionality is also there. So in case of failure, you can directly configure the parameters without the network. Modularization of panel design is also help to increase the productivity, speed, and going to save a significant cost and time. So in last Rockwell Automation, at a glance, like we are a $5.9 billion company in 2016, employing 22,000 employees, operating in 80 plus countries, and we are the world's largest companies dedicated for industrial automation and information. It's been 130 years, 13 years now. We have been serving our customers in manufacturing sectors segments and helping them enabling the connected enterprise and helping them to have a smarter, more productive, and more secure networks. So with this, I am done, and we are on Q&A session now.